Okay, this is a kicker for the Iowa State Cyclones. His name is Kyle Konrardy. On Saturday, he had a late 54-yard field goal that gave number 16 Iowa State the 3-point victory over in-state rivals, the Iowa Hawkeyes. And I'm assuming they're rivals if they're in-state. But it's a 54-yard field goal kick. American football kicker for the Iowa State Cyclones, Kyle Konrardy. And this was actually with a minute 52 left on Saturday to basically give them the 3-point victory. Here's a quote: "You win football games when your best players make the best plays in key moments," Iowa State coach Matt Campbell said. "When you've got a guy like Kyle, you just trust him." His winning kick this time came after Rocco Becht led the Cyclones on a grinding 55-yard drive that chewed 6.5 minutes off the clock. Tamatoa McDonough, excuse me, I had to sneeze. Tamatoa McDonough sacked Mark Gronowski twice on Iowa's last possession, with the Hawkeyes 1-1, turning the ball over on downs. Okay, we're going to look at the field goal real quick. And it's in Spanish, but I'm not really trying to play the volume anyways. What's weird is, look over here on YouTube when I was getting the clip. Share tab right here. You can see Richard West right here at the top of my subscriptions. I see he reached 75 subscribers. Let's get to 80, at least within a few days. Come on. But look at, here's a 54-yard kick, it looks like. But look at the score there. It says 19-17 Iowa. And that's Kyle Konrardy right there. But this score was 16-13, as you see right there. So maybe he had another 54-yard kick in another game versus Iowa. I'm not sure, but that's interesting right there. Unless it's some kind of mistake. But that's weird. So anyways, I have this Spanish clip here that shows the score. You see 13-13, and then he puts the kick up right here. So look, Spanish.
54.
But let me pause it. We don't really need to hear that, but we want to see this kick and then get into the decode. All right, so you see him lining up here. You see the camera up above. A 54-yard kick. I mean, nowadays that isn't so long, right? But it's still, that's still a good field goal. And we don't know if there's like magnets and everything involved. So there's the kick. Bam. To lead them to victory here. Kyle Konrardy. It's good. You see the celebration. You see the teammates right here. This 16-13 victory over Iowa. And they're going to be on to their next game. Here's a little slow-mo here. Bam. In a real football game, I think it would suck having to kick field goals. I mean, for real, I would probably just botch over and over. But they probably have some kind of technologies helping them, right? Or who knows, right? Speculation by me. But look at this. So I'm not a football fan. I'm here to show these breakdowns, okay? We're breaking down this Associated Press story. So Iowa State, look, ranked number 16 And you see they win this game scoring 16 points. Okay? So they beat Iowa State. Iowa State scores 13 in the loss. Excuse me, Iowa loses this game to Iowa State. Iowa scores 13 in the loss when Iowa State equals 113, which is like 13. Even Iowa State last season overall record 11-3. That's 113. See that right there? It says overall 11-3 Iowa State 24-25 season. Check that out. Now maybe I'll go look at the Iowa record last season. I don't know if I get time. But you see that? Isn't it awesome? I want somebody to deny that this is amazing because Cyclones equals 96 in the ordinal cipher, and the game was on 9/6, September 6th, and they're trending with this victory. The kicker, Kyle Konrardy, also, he has 97 on his jersey, trending the hero here. Iowa State Cyclones equals 97. Trending on 9/7, which is right now as I speak, Sunday. Even Hawkeyes, the team they beat, Hawkeyes has the 97. So look how the dates sync up with the jersey of the hero here, the field goal kicker. Field goal. Look at that. And look how in the language it connects to the two teams involved. Okay? You'll probably have some other symbolism within here because look, 9 plus 7 is 16. They score 16, ranked number 16. I don't know if their ranking is going to change. I don't know. Isn't that awesome? And remember that 16. Remember that 16 because there's more 16 connections coming up. Even if you add up the score, 16 plus 13 is 29. The goalie was just trending great for the Montreal Canadiens. He wore 29 on his jersey. I don't want to say his name yet because he's coming up here with another connection. You'll see that here shortly. This is a 32-day span from the game to Kyle Konrardy's upcoming birthday. From start to end is 32 days. Iowa State is his team. Iowa State equals 32. So here we go with the K's because I notice these K's are trending right now. And I understand it could be an algorithm thing. If I look at a story and, there's K's, I understand it may pop up multiple stories. That's still interesting, right? Connected with the K. But on another level, you see the goalie that died, Ken Dryden, trending K. Okay? But look at, on another level, it can't just be an algorithm thing. Remember, the score was 16-13. Added up, you get 29. This guy wore 29 on his jersey. You kind of vaguely see it right there. But look, Canadian CAN dies of cancer CAN. Right? That's more than just it's giving me stories based on the algorithm. Okay? That's a language thing right there. Right? They're saying a guy died of cancer, CAN, Hall of Fame for the Montreal Canadiens, Canadian CAN. right? So that's more than just, okay, my algorithm is just giving me stuff based on what I'm searching, which, that's still shady, right? But it goes deeper. I mean, you're talking about deaths. Look at the Ken Dryden, Ken Flores cause of death revealed 7 months after his death. Wouldn't that be a thing if he died at 29, but he died at 28? Okay. Duchess of Kent, known for devotion to music and consoling Wimbledon losers. Look, dies at 92. That's the 29 reflection. 29 on this guy's jersey. 16 plus 13 is 29 with that story. Kyle Konrardy, Ken, Kent. All of this stuff trending. And I don't know if I'm going to get to the Ken Flores cause of death story. I teased it in another video. His cause of death revealed 7 months after. But, I've already brought it up a few times with these connections. But look at the K's. So as soon as I saw Kyle Konrardy, I'm like, that's easy money. Okay? Easy money. So look at all of those connections. Even the husband of Duchess of Kent, and her name's even Catherine that starts with the K. But her husband, Prince Edward, Duke of Kent, look, Kyle Konrardy, his birthday is 2 days before Prince Edward, Duke of Kent's birthday. Look at that. October 7 and October 9. Okay? So you can see how it's a lottery with the language, but it's not so random. It's going to sync up where it needs to sync up, and it's going to be by the language and it's going to be by the numbers, okay? So that's the world that we're living in. What do you think about it? I mean, remember I told you they won with 16 points, ranked number 16. Konrardy equals 106, like 16. ABC 123 cipher, that's something that's not going to change. Remember Kobe Bean Bryant equals 54 in the language. Kobe is another K. Kobe's got 4 letters like Kyle. His birthday was not long ago. So when you can go on the fly like that, and you can also show how this stuff is scripted by the language, it makes it more undeniable, doesn't it? But you see the 106 with Konrardy. Remember, Bill Belichick's trending also in college football. Look at his birthday, April 16th, is the 106th day of the year. These are all stories I've covered. Armani died. Armani equals 106 in the reverse cipher. So that's my algorithm isn't controlling these deaths. Now, I can say it may be a collection of all of us who are doing this. We type things into the keyboard, and I think it's possible that it could cause these stories to hit. That kind of makes sense to me. Look at the keyboard. Control, Shift, Enter, delete, Alt. I mean, think about the keyboard. I see letters and numbers on here and other things. Think about that. So I think it's possible that, and that's kind of connected to an algorithm, right? We're typing in Google. I think it is possible, and maybe our voice is picking up in there too, and our voice is all factored into what we're typing. Remember they said watch what you say, you could speak it into existence, right? So to me, that's like, as far as decoders, what I'm speaking on right there, that's kind of like high level. and everybody has their own theory. Think about it. And the Gematrinator calculator, think about how that's free for all of us to use. They don't charge. That's odd, because if we had to pay to use the Gematrinator calculator as decoders, I mean, we would almost be crippled without it, because there isn't another one as good, not even close. And isn't that interesting? But we would all probably be handcuffed. We would all probably pay for it. Look at how it helps us with the decodes, right? So I think there's something going on with us typing this stuff. Think about Donald Trump, how everyone, we all think that he may be taken off the world stage. Look at all of our energy showing how everything was connected to Trump also, right? All of the numbers, all of these deaths going on, and they got Trump numbers. It's almost like we're speaking it, or we're typing it into existence, and this stuff is never going to end. Do you understand? We keep going and going and going and going, and it seems like it always adds up. These decodes always land. Are we typing and speaking these stories into existence? That's, it's creepy, it's borderline maybe scary, it's interesting to say the less. So 106, 106, 106. Childs, 106. Jordan Childs, trending to be a cast member of Dancing with the Stars, which starts on the 16th. That day even leaves 106 days in the year. Okay, all of this stuff trending. Sabrina Carpenter, 106. New album. Trending. Taylor Townsend, you see her on the right. Her birthday is the 106th day of the year, and that's this year. Right? They made that a racist story that was trending. You see, I pointed out the birthday. I missed it. I pointed it out in the comments to my video. They made it racist. And, she's black. Black equals 106. So notice how Hawkeyes equals 119 in reverse right there. You're going to see other connections there that could be brought up. Look at Hawkeyes 119. That's interesting because the 9/11 anniversary is right around the corner. I've been seeing 119 a lot. I've been seeing 156 when the 156 prime number is 911. Even Kyle Konrardy's got the 165 right there. But look at 119, and remember, this game leaves 116 days in the year. Flip that 116 over, you get 911. And we got that energy because that's a huge anniversary coming up of 9/11, right? So you see how that works? This guy's birthday is even the 280th day of the year, like 28. There's been about 5 or 6 28s with multiple stories lately as well. I'm not here to confuse you. I just want to simply show you how not only are these stories all by the numbers, which they make the algorithm thing trendy now, where it's like, even normies understand that, right? And right, they've been programmed to accept the algorithm. Oh, this is all normal. Dude, people dying based on an algorithm. You could even tell normies that guy looks like he even has a 97 back there. Look, like Konrardy. Look at over on the right. There's that 49 again. Remember Beyonce energy, the 4th day of the 9th month. Look at my last 5 or 6 videos, okay? Or you can just be a bot comment, what are you talking about? And then when I respond, I know you're a bot. I don't mind just calling you a bot, making a robot look stupid. I'm cool. I'm good with that. But you respond and then bots don't respond back, okay? We know if it's a real person, it's going to be a back and forth, an online tough guy situation, right? You see the 49 and the 97 even again back there, okay? Remember, this is trending now on 9-7. 9 plus 7 is 16. I didn't really catch anything with the 54. I mentioned that the Kobe Bryant thing. Kobe, another K. Kobe being Bryant equals 54. There's other things you can say. I don't want to be just a regular decoder. I mean, it all makes sense, right? But I'm trying to just point out the massive, undeniable connections here, okay? 9-7 is also the anniversary, the Tupac getting shot anniversary, and he died 6 days later. There's probably some nice connections with that. Remember, Kobe Bryant got drafted the year Tupac died, and that was in 1996. So, that's solid. That's solid because Cyclones equals 96. You see that? And 9-6 is 1 day before Tupac got shot. So that's amazing. All of the stuff connected. Tupac connected to Trump. Can we go, politics equals 113? Can we go one video without mentioning Trump? Why is Trump got connections everywhere? It's completely wild, man. It's completely wild. So there's something going on with this language, to say the least. Spells, spelling, spellcasting, right? Broadcasting, magic, cursive, curses. I'll leave it up to y'all. The college season is kicking off. The NFL season is kicking off. If y'all want to, you can go look into the next opponents and you can go look into the details. Okay, but I'm leaving it at that. Kyle Konrardy's late 54-yard field goal gives number 16 Iowa State the 3-point victory over the Hawkeyes, in-state rivals. Until next time.